Wait, what do you mean you just wrote an article and put my name on it? You bastard.
Sorry about the weird lighting. Manchester has decided that being sunny would be a thing that it would like to try once in a while, and so there's now sunlight in my room, which I think it's like on my face or anything. So maybe it's like highlighting my beard. I can't tell, but if it's not, then ignore it. And if it is, entirely intentional to bring out the light in my beard. As I learnt today, when I post a rant, the site no longer puts a big warning message along the top that essentially says, this is a completely biased, written on the cuff rant that has, perhaps no factual basis, hasn't really been researched, and is sort of an irrational answer to the question, you mad? So I feel I should probably address this just because it's kind of a big deal, as in it's getting, kind of a lot of, I would say heat, but just a lot of comments on it. Now, I'm not actually going to talk about the content of my article, which, if you don't know, I wrote an article titled, it's just there, IGN are misogynistic pricks. You should go read it. It's a rant. It's not, it's not some kind of calm and rational discussion. It is, as you would expect from the category, a rant. But the comments are kind of interesting because I actually agree with a lot of them. And there's this weird mix. Like, at first I woke up and there's 50 comments all calling me a twat. And I'm like, oh god, all these people are idiots. But rereading them, some of them actually, even though they seem kind of angry, even though clearly they're not, they're very blunt and to the point. They actually are making a counter-argument, which, considering that my post was this big rant, it makes sense. And so I was fairly quick to write off these comments, but then I started reading them, and some of them are actually quite long, and some of them are perfectly valid. Not valid in the sense that I agree with them, but valid in the sense that they actually add something to the discussion. And that's caused by the fact that the article right now is currently getting traffic from two places. One is getting traffic from N4G, so most of the really stupid comments are from N4G, but it's also being picked up on 4chan's V, which, I kind of have some level of respect for. That's a whole other topic. The comments coming from there are very vocal, very rude, very like, rabble, rabble, rabble. But they also actually have some kind of coherent point that they're making, which is kind of interesting. So, if you are bored of something to do, go have a look at the comments on my article and see what you think. I'd be interested to see what you think, but I'm actually surprised at how good they are, if that's the right way to word it. Other actual updates to the site, now that I've got the exciting drama out the way, so you can stop watching if you only wanted to see exciting drama. The forum, I've actually changed the skin on the forum and spent a little while making it so it no longer looks like what was the fruit we called it? I don't know, passion fruit or something, or a peach. It no longer actually has that kind of like orangey, fuzzy feel. It's now black and red with lots of little bits of orange, and I'm slowly going through and removing the bits of orange. And I made it kind of dark, because the idea is that the forum is kind of like the seedy underbelly. It's the real like core that you really it's kind of like the shadows in all the corners that really powers the site, which it doesn't, obviously. Our staff power the site. But in the interest of sounding like all the other blogs, then it's all about community. I love our community. Well, I don't love our community. I'm good friends with our community. But you guys don't write the articles. We write the articles. And the reason you are the Nukezilla community is because you like the articles. It's not the other way round. I really should start lying more. It'll make us more popular. The other update that happened this week, which was originally going to be the whole point of this video, is that we now have bulletins. Now, a bulletin is a 50 to 100 word, maybe even less, post that goes up. It has no image, it's just a title, and most of the time it's a paragraph of text saying some news has happened, and then a link so that you can go and find out more, and possibly a link to wire. These don't appear in the main RSS feed, so if you follow the site via our main RSS feed, there is another one which I'll link to at some point, but it's not that important, then you won't get these bulletins, and they don't appear on the recent articles list on the right-hand side, but they do appear on the front page. And the whole point here is that we want Nukezilla to cover more big news, but We don't want to force our writers to say, that news is big, you should write it up because it is important, not because you care about it. Pad it out to 200 words. Because that's a waste of their time, it's a waste of your time, and it's not something... And it's kind of lying. It's basically saying, like, oh yes, I am properly researching this and blah, blah, blah. You're not. You're just having an excuse to link to somewhere else, and then you're getting, you know, traffic for having that news on your site. And we kind of want a slice of that pie, but without doing it in a kind of slimy, not all that being honest kind of way. So, a phrase that Sam told me that he probably borrowed from somewhere else, that's basically, write the best, link to the rest. And that's what we're going to do. So we will have more of these bulletins covering more news. And the clever thing, this is where it gets clever, is that the bulletins will slowly get more and more integrated with Wire, so that it gives some form of editorial to Wire.vg, which is our sort of link aggregation site. So on Nukezilla, you will get more news. You can come to Nukezilla and we will have more news for you. But it also means that Wire can eventually have a list of sort of, I guess, editor's choice kind of articles. I mean, I don't want to bore people too much with my plans for integrating it all. So yeah, I'm going to go and try not to be sued by anyone. Me and Planty are going to have words. Check out my organization chart. This is my to-do today list. I've got my video blog, which I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to be playing the Battledrome. And hop in the forum. If you haven't used the forum in a while, or if you haven't used the forum, hop in. We've got an introduce yourself thread, so just post in there. It'll be fun. And yeah, what are you up to? And what do you think of bulletins?